Fireman Daniel here. I am doing my morning walk with my dog. Let's see if we can switch it. Nope, we can't switch it right now. She's pulling me pretty good. This is going to be just a live stream version. This is going to be unlisted until Friday. I gave my Discord and Patreon guys a heads up that I was going to be doing this. And I just wanted to do it special for them because they are helping me out a lot in the mental health section of Discord. But basically I want to talk about a few things here about my antidepressants and my medications. Now this is going to be a one take because it is live stream and it will go up on Friday at 2 o'clock because it is unlisted right now. So you won't be able to see it unless you're here live. So basically I want to talk about Prozac specifically and Xanax, benzodiazepine and SSRI. I forgot what SSRI means. I know it's a serotonin reuptake type thing. That's the Prozac. And that's been around for a while. It's been around, I believe the 80s. And then Xanax is a benzodiazepine, which is kind of like a hypnotic type thing. And that is for anxiety. The Prozac is for anxiety and depression. I wanted to talk about side effects. I want to talk about how it's changed me personally and what the difference is between not being on it and being on it, and when I need it and when I feel like I need it and all that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to be able to share with you guys that, just because I know some of you are worried, especially men are worried about taking medications, and I felt like it was that time where I needed to take medications. It was either take medications or suffer more until I can get in with a therapist. So before I start, I want to just make sure you guys understand that this is just my experience. I am not a doctor. I'm in the medical field, but I am not a doctor. I cannot prescribe you guys anything. I cannot diagnose you guys with anything. Come on, girl. So please go see your own doctor first. Speak to a therapist and get the recommendations that you need there, because there are some weird medications out there and dosages that will affect you differently. All right, so when I jump in, I'm going to let you know a little bit about my history. Is that I do have a depressive disorder. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I believe it's the generalized, or not generalized anxiety disorder. That's the anxiety that I have. But I believe I have just the major depressive disorder. Now, the major depressive, still, I believe I have that, but I'm going to speak to a therapist April 26th. And we're going to discuss, hey, Boogie, what's up? How you doing, man? Glad to have you here. I'm going to be discussing with her to kind of get more of an in-depth thing on that. But I am taking Prozac at originally 20 milligrams, and it's been bumped up about a week ago to 40 milligrams. And then I was prescribed Xanax at 0.5 milligrams twice a day or as needed. But she told me I didn't have to do that. I could just take it as needed. So if like there's an episode of where my anxiety is getting a hold of me, I just take 0.5 milligrams. Well, I kind of went against doctor's orders on that, and I cut all my tablets in half, and I only take really 0.25 milligrams in the morning, and that's it. I'll take another one if something else happens, so if an anxiety episode happens. So that's what I've been doing. So my medications have lasted me a little bit. But the main thing here is the Prozac. That's kind of what I want to talk to you about. Prozac, I was a little hesitant, because before the Prozac, she put me on Lexapro, and within a few days, I'm talking like the first day, 2 days, 3 days, I think that's as long as I lasted on Lexapro, I started getting blurry vision, like bad, like my eyes were tired, they couldn't focus. And then I was getting very bad nausea. So she took me off that, and then she put me on Prozac, and Prozac, I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any of those side effects, but I did have a side effect, and I was going to do this not live stream so I can edit this in later. The side effect I got from Prozac, which is the only side effect, but it still sucks, is basically, and this is hard to explain and it's hard to talk about because this is very personal and this is a personal subject, but might as well, we're doing it live. It basically, I'm still able to get an erection, but it's like I can barely feel anything. There's a name for that, and there's no fix for that, but that's just a side effect that can happen, and it happens a lot in men with Prozac. I think it's like a 40% chance it's going to happen, so I kind of got on that bad spectrum of that. But there's always workarounds, you know, there's always ways to fix kind of that part of the stuff. Anyways, enough about that. But that is the only side effect I have of that. But the main goal with the Prozac is that it's going to reuptake. It's going to give me more serotonin, and I'm not going to get more in detail on how that works, and not in this video, but I will do it in another video, kind of talking about what an SSRI does and how it works, and once I learn a little bit more about it. But basically, I wasn't getting enough serotonin as a biologically depressive person. And so what it does is it increases the serotonin and kind of like the dopamine and everything, and all the neurotransmitters and the chemicals, and it allows me to feel, because I was in a state of, I forgot the medical term for it, but basically I was numb and I couldn't feel either happiness or sadness, and that was a serotonin problem. So what it did is that now it's making me feel. So like when something good happens, Stella, don't go for that, she's going for a lizard. When it like if something good happens, like my kid came home with like an A+, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, maybe you should have gotten that, you know. Anyways, that's kind of like my thought for that. So hey, what's up, Monica? So that would be an issue, because like I wasn't happy, but then when he would bring something bad home, and it wasn't that bad, he's a good kid, I'd get really upset. So like I had this super low level of tolerance, and like I couldn't be happy. So let's go ahead, come on Stella, we're going to the end of the street. So what the Prozac does is it makes it so that I can feel the happiness, and I can feel even the sadness sometimes, but I'm able to make logical decisions based off of that information. So when he brings home something really nice, it's like I'm super excited, and it's not because it's like it's a fake. I'm like high, you know, drunk. No, it's like I feel completely normal, and I just feel good. And it's like he does something good, I'm like, I'm happy. My girl does something good, I'm happy. I do something good, I feel happy, and it stays that way. And then when something bad happens, like I maybe get chewed out or something at work, or I do something wrong, I make a mistake, it used to bother me like for a day or two, 3 days, and then I think about it a couple weeks later and it still bothered me. A year later, all of a sudden I thought about it and it bothers me like it just happened that day. Now, when something like a mistake happens, it bothers me for about 5-10 minutes, and then it goes away. And that's a new feeling for me, and I don't know if that's what normal people feel, because I don't know what normal is, and the medications kind of opened my eyes to that. And at the end of the day, the medications made it so I had more energy, because I never had motivation to... Okay, I don't know what happened there. It looks like everything died on me, but I'm back. Anyways, I don't know what you guys missed, but basically I would lose motivation when it came to doing something. And if I didn't do it, let's take working out for an example. While depressed, I didn't want to work out because I didn't have motivation. Well, then I lost energy because I didn't work out. And then the depression will get worse, and it's like this vicious cycle. So when I got on medications, I started having just a little bit of motivation, just starting to get a little bit like excited to do something. So it got me enough to where I wanted to work out, and I started working out, getting better at it, getting stronger, getting more energy, because you know I'm working out, I'm getting results. So now I feel good, and now I'm motivated. So now I'm on this other cycle. Instead of it being vicious to where I'm unmotivated, come on girl, I'm unmotivated and not wanting to do it. Now I'm motivated, wanting to do it. It's bringing me positive results. I'm more and more motivated, and I believe that is the cause of the medication of Prozac. So it kind of brought me out of the depressive state. She keeps sniffing stuff. Now Xanax, that was a little different, and I kind of want to be off it. I don't want to be on Xanax, not because of side effects, but because it can be an addictive medication. That's why I cut it in half, and I only take like a quarter of the dose. She keeps chasing lizards. But the Xanax is a benzodiazepine, and inside your brain you have chemicals called GABA. It's an acid, a GABA, and what it does is that it's meant to block your neurotransmitters. So you have like two little sections. You know, let's say somebody's like throwing a baseball to each other, like one father and dad, or two guys throwing baseball to each other. Well, in order for that baseball to get to one person to the next, it has to fly through the air, right? Well, GABA is basically somebody jumping in the middle of it and catching it. So the other person can't get it. The other person just decides to get another ball, try to throw it, but then the GABA gets in the middle of it and tries to catch it. It's kind of the simplest terms. Well, with anxiety, and people with anxiety, they have a lower production of GABA. So, and then they also have a higher production of those baseballs, you know, the people throwing it. So it's come on, still. She keeps like getting behind me. There we go. Sorry. So there's just so many baseballs being thrown and no one catching in the middle. And it's not just thoughts, like where I'm constantly thinking, like an obsessive compulsive disorder, but it's the worry. Like I'm constantly worried, constantly nervous, like something's gonna happen because my brain is firing like on 10 times the cylinders it's supposed to have. Well, with Xanax and benzodiazepines and stuff like that, there's different kinds. There's Ativan, there's diazepam and all that stuff, but Xanax is one of them. It's more of a quick acting type. And what it does is it increases the production of GABA, GABA. So now I basically have more people in the middle of those two baseball throwers catching stuff. So I think my brain is still firing all cylinders, still. Because when I don't take the Xanax, and I noticed it, because one day I left it at home and I went to work and I was just quiet and I was anxious and nervous and worrisome. So when I take it, what it does to me, since I take it at half a dose, it's like super low dose, and I only take it once a day usually, is that I notice that my worry goes away. No, you get back on this side. My worry goes away. My thoughts, they don't overrun my actions. So usually my thoughts will make me live in my head and I look like tired and unmotivated to do anything. So I'm able to focus on what's at hand, like work and family. And then it helps out much more. I always thought it was just going to help out with the thoughts and the thinking and the thinking and the thinking. But the thinking and the thinking and all that stuff was a symptom of the over worry, the overproduction of, you know, the baseballs, overproduction of the stuff going on in the brain, and the GABA really helps out overall. Now the reason why I don't want to take it, and I don't want to be dependent on that, because yes, it is addictive. It can be addictive in high concentrations and high dosages. And I've actually run on calls where people have purposely OD'd on it or purposely taken too much so they can get the high. But another reason why I don't want to take it is because it's almost like a crutch, but it's allowing me to function very well. So there's other ways of having the same effect without taking the medications, and that is through therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and I'll be starting that April 26th. So hopefully I can get off of medications at some point through just therapy, but I truly believe that the medications has allowed me to be more open, has allowed me to function like I should be functioning. It's all blurry right now, sorry guys. There we go. It has allowed me to function like I should be functioning. It has allowed me to feel more normal until I can get into therapy, until I can, actually retrain my brain. It's like almost taking, a stimulant to go work out because you're not motivated, because you're not seeing results, or you're out of shape and it's too hard for you, and so you take like a no explode or caffeine before you get in the gym, so you get that energy boost and the motivation to do it. And then before you know it, you don't need to take that stuff because you're just so motivated to do it anyways. That's kind of what the medications are for depression and for Xanax for me. I know some people that have to just take it all the rest of their life. And I know some people that take it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, and then the therapy, brings them back out of it. So that is kind of like what I deal with when it comes to the medications. Medications are not shameful. There's no stigma around the medications. I believe taking medications is good for you, just because it's hard to explain, because you'll take a Tylenol or an ibuprofen or something if you have muscle aches. You'll You'll take medications, you know, antibiotics if you're sick. You'll take, you know, everything under the sun to relieve some type of pain, physical pain. But then when it comes for men, it's like, I'm not going to take antidepressants. My brain is fine. It's like all of a sudden the brain is untouchable. Antidepressants are it's basically Tylenol for your muscles. You know, if you're in pain, if something's not working right, you need to take medications. Well, you don't need to take medications. It helps to take medications. Just like if you broke your leg, you're going to take medications for pain, but at the same time you do physical therapy to retrain your body into getting better and able to walk again. So you're going to take medications to ease the pain in your brain, to ease the anxiety and depression, and then you're going to go to therapy, which is with a psychologist or psychiatrist, to retrain your brain with cognitive behavioral therapy. And what it really is it's literally training your brain to not think that way. So if you think of it that way, it's not a big deal. And I'm hoping other people can think that way and start doing that, because it really does help out. And there's no reason to deal with the crazy depression, the crazy anxiety, just consistent, just because you feel like that's normal. For me, I felt like that was normal for 20 years, and I thought that is what everyone felt, and people are just lucky that they can not deal with it, and it didn't bother them. Well, it bothered me to the point where I almost lost my relationship, you know? I almost lost my job. So going out and getting it done, that was my rock bottom, you know, and I had to go get it done, and I did, and it is completely eye-opening. It is something that I never thought I needed, but then when I did it, I can't believe I waited this long. So for those of you that are on the fence, or for those of you that don't know if you should take it, don't know what route to go, literally just go to your doctor, your primary care physician, and seek that help. Seek those people. But I don't know, with that said, hope you guys are having a great Friday. I'm going to AZ Bike Week tomorrow, and well, Saturday. For those on live stream, you're seeing this now. Hello. So I'll be doing that all weekend, and then we'll see what happens. I'll see what happens, man. I think I just got therapy. I could pull myself out of it. Yeah, therapy, therapy is going to work. It just takes a while. Medications will definitely help you kind of... Still's pulling on me. It'll give you that boost that you need. Definitely do it, Boogie. Was it Boogie? Yeah, Boogie. Definitely see about getting medications first. If you like it, if you don't, that's fine. But definitely get yourself into therapy at the same time. There's no point in taking meds if you can't retrain your brain, you know? Don't use it as a crutch if you don't have to. Side effects suck if you get them. But it's changed my life. All right, guys, that's what I'll be doing. And I just want to share this with you. The people on Discord, gave you the link. It's unlisted right now, but this will be popping up on Friday. All right, guys, I enjoyed the walk. I enjoyed talking to you and just being a little open, straightforward, no editing. All right, I think that's it. I'll see you guys later, all right?